Good day. God bless you. Welcome back, guys. My name is Zach Attack, and this is episode 83 in the Healthy, Wealthy, Happy series. Proverbs chapter 17, verse 17. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. And guys, a good friend is hard to find. And if you have one, embrace them and also endeavor in your life to be that good friend that can endure some hard times, especially when your friends are going through hard times. It can be difficult for you to maintain the friendship because maybe they're pouring their heart out to you, or they're going through some ups and downs, or having negative behavior. But try to be that Christian friend that can always be that rock solid foundation that they can always fall back onto. Even if they slip away from what you believe to be their better choices, just at least be their better friend when it comes time to be one. And this quote about being, life is 10% what happens to you and 80 and 90% of how you react to it. It applies to so many things, and it's really a quote, I believe, about getting over that that victim mentality that life happens to you, rather than you are in control of your life. You dictate the pace, because in reality you do. I've joked about it before, like somebody cuts you off on the freeway and you actually go home and complain to your husband or wife about it, bitch at, complain to your coworkers about it, even get on social media and complain about it. And somebody cuts me off on the freeway, it's very likely that I won't even notice, because I'm just not I'm just not on that level, man. My mind is elsewhere. I'm listening to audible books when I'm driving. I'm dreaming about life success and life's actual problems and concerns, not rather some complete stranger cut me off on the freeway. And because I'm so important that they shouldn't, their vehicle shouldn't be in front of mine. So it's your choice, though. Is it what happened to you, or is it how you're reacting to it? And I'm telling you, it's how you're reacting to it. That's how, and it really applies to me right now with this program that I'm on. I was down 31 pounds and I'm feeling great. I'm doing Atkins. I'm on phase 1, and I'm going to be on phase 1 for the foreseeable future. I mean, if I go to phase 2, it will be oh glorious day, because it will mean that I am significantly less weight than I am now. I would probably want to weigh at least 50, 60 pounds less than I do now before I went to phase 2. And that would just mean that I'm starting to add 5 carbs per day for 1 or 2 weeks at a time, until I can, keep losing weight, but start adding carbs, so I can kind of pull up to that exact weight that I want to weigh, and then know how many carbs I can eat. And speaking about how many carbs can I eat, I didn't go live yesterday. It was okay. So my 4 off, I had 1 day off. What day is it now? Tuesday. I had 1 day off. Was it Sunday? Yeah, I had Sunday off. And then they got me to work Monday for a coworker. And then I had today off. Today's Tuesday. So yesterday I knew I was working tomorrow, Wednesday, which is an extra day that I normally had off. But yesterday, and please bear with me, I'm laying a foundation for what happened. Yesterday, I had my meals planned out for my day off of work. I had chicken wings in the fridge, and I had my salads and everything. And I was sleeping in. It was a little past 7:00 yesterday morning. And I rolled over, and my phone had a message on it, and I listened to the message. And as I was listening to the message, it was my boss, or one of the supervisors at my work, not my boss, but calling me to fill in on a position at work. And I was like, I don't really have much going on. I'll go in and add some funds to the coffers, and especially paying for my trip to the Philippines coming up. So, but I didn't have any meals prepped. If I know I'm going to work and I'm going to eat, because a lot of my like my normal work days, I don't eat at work, so it works out great. So I was just like, well, maybe I'll just wait till after work to eat, or I'll just find a salad or something at work. So I get to work yesterday, and everything's going good, and I'm doing my job, and I go a couple hours later, I find a vegetable salad. It just has lettuce and onions and tomatoes and ranch dressing, and it was a small little plastic bowl. It wasn't too bad. And then I I think I grabbed something with that, some protein or something. or some peanuts. I don't remember now, but it was decent. It was like, I remember calculating it out to be like 8 carbs, so I was doing okay up to that point. And then like 4 or 5 hours went by and I went on lunch, and I still did good. I found like a chef salad, and I ended up buying a 4 net carb protein bar. So again, I was calculating it up, and I was like, yeah, it was probably another like 8 carbs or something. So I'm getting up there, the 8 and 8. I'm 16 carbs, so I'm only at 4 carbs left. And I thought, but I knew I had some chicken and stuff at home that was, little to no carbs, and I could have a smaller salad, and I had some eggs. I knew after I get off work, I can I can eat a low carb meal for dinner and be fine and be done for the day. But here we go, guys. Here's where the tragedy starts coming in. So it was Employee Appreciation Day or week or something the other day, and so they've been bringing in snacks and these big cookies, like this fat, like it's almost like a big piece of cake with just tons of frosting. And I resisted the other day when it was on my fasting day, just fine. And my boss had brought them into the office, and I just said, well, that's more for the other guys, they can have them. And I passed up on those, no problem. And I was doing good. They had offered them to me all day throughout the day, 7 in the morning, 9 in the, 10, 11, 12, 3, 4. And finally I was on my last break where I didn't eat anything because I was just going to eat something once I get back off of work at like 7 p.m. And this is like 5 p.m. And I had to go into this one supervisor's office. It's a big office full of them. And there was just like 5 of these big boxes like this big with just layers of these cookies. And I just broke, guys. I broke. So here's what I want to talk about. So not only did I break, but it kind of snowballed into a couple other snacks as well. So I ate this big cookie, and I was trying to estimate the carbs, but it was crazy. It didn't matter because it was not gonna be anywhere near 20. I mean, the frosting alone on this thing probably had 50 carbs. So then I was kind of feeling down about it, and I was like, and this is happening to me before. I'm just gonna be 100% honest. So I was like, you ruined your diet for the day. There's no coming back from this. You're not burning fat now because now there's insulin in your blood. Now there's, you had a blood sugar spike, guaranteed, eating anything sugary like that. So then I made it to the lunchroom where I wasn't even going to eat because that was like on the way. And then I bought like 2 more snacks. One of them was those little can of Pringles, which had like 40 more carbs, and something else too. And I don't even remember what the other thing was, but I remember adding it up to like just guessing that it was like 200 carbs that I ate yesterday total. And when I'm shooting for 20, I ate like 10 days of carbs in one. So here is the reality of this channel, you guys. This is what it is about. This channel is intended to help people like me that are going to have days like this. And what I believe I've conquered is the snowballing effect of minor setbacks and temporary defeats. And, no boxer goes through a 15-round heavyweight fight without taking a few punches. You have to be able to roll with the punches and fight back. And so I was not happy about it, but I'm going to tell you guys, I wasn't devastated like I would have been in the past. It would have turned into a screw the Atkins diet altogether, and I'm just gonna enjoy some carbs for a couple weeks / year before I get back on track. So where I'm feeling better was I was actually comfortable with, okay, you took a step back. You definitely didn't lose any body fat today. Your body's going to be loaded up with carbs for the next 24 hours minimum. It probably had the ability to store a lot of it in my muscles, and it probably wasn't stored as fat, but that doesn't stop it from that doesn't prevent it from stopping you burning fat. Even if it didn't store fat, because I had my liver and my muscles were so empty of carbohydrates that my body was able to absorb it, which I believe it was. But still, it's got to be all burnt out again to get back into that fat burning zone, into that ketosis range. So having said that, I got through yesterday. I didn't cry about it. I read my books, and I got home late, and I was running late, and I just ended up not going live. It was getting too late, and I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go live at 10 at night. I had considered it, and I was like, well, I'll just catch you guys up tomorrow. So here we are, getting caught up. And so let me just run down today real quick. So I'm on Atkins. I'm doing phase 1. Totally blew it yesterday. So this is technically day 3 of this round of 96 hours of eating. And so day 2 got wasted. So I woke up today and I was like, okay, let's just get back onto your chips, buddy. Not a big deal. Let's just focus on the whole plan. You're gonna have issues. You're gonna in anything. Any marriage has husbands and wives that love each other very, 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 very much fight. And you work through it, and you handle your business, and you find a way to make it work. And I use the husband and wife to love each other, because I'm trying to program my subconscious and yours, um, to love yourself in that way, like somebody you love. Treat yourself like somebody you love. Would you want somebody you love to bounce back and get over it and treat themselves with respect, and get back on track? You would. So today I get up feeling good, slept great. And I looked in the fridge, and all I had was some chicken and my salads and some eggs. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to mix it up and make it difficult. I'm just going to make 6 scrambled eggs. So I counted that 3 carbs. I put some oil, some butter, and 6 scrambled eggs with some sea salt and black pepper. And that was it. That was my breakfast. It's awesome. It's kind of big, calorie wise, but carb wise, well, not even calorie wise. It still would have fit into the 400 calorie meals as well. But 3-4 carbs, maybe, depending on. These are pretty small eggs. It was like an 18 pack for $4.99. So they were the small, like the medium size eggs. So then I was like, all right, it's only like 8 in the morning, and I still kind of have a desire to eat. And I almost dug out of my stuff to make a salad. And I was like, whoa, pump your brakes. Let's get busy. So I was digging around in my camping stuff that I'm prepping my trip, my big camping trip, or when I get back from the Philippines for it's a couple weeks camping trip that I have planned. Maybe like 1 week with some friends, and then 1 week on my own as well. Maybe like 5 days with some friends and 5 days on my own as well. And so prepping for that, and I was like, you know what? I still kind of want to eat. Let me get out of here. I was like, you know what? I'm feeling pretty good. My ankle is still injured. It's still, I think it's almost down into the heel is the pain now. And it was from that 2-mile run, if you remember. So it's been quite a few days now that I haven't been able to run. And I was like, I have to get some good cardio in. So I had my short shorts on, and I threw my muscle shirt on, my sleeveless shirt, and I just hit the gym, Planet Fitness, and I did my 100 pounds, 100 crunches, but to get warmed up. But I did 110 crunches this time. So I was like, all right, I'm stepping up my game. I've got to burn these carbs up. I just ate way, way, way too many carbs yesterday. It was a mistake, and I'm going to pay for it. And I was feeling great about it. Like I was amped with energy. I could actually feel all the extra carbs in my blood, in my muscles, in my liver. Like I said, carbs aren't terrible for you. It's just we're trying to burn body fat. And when you're trying to burn body fat, you need to get those carbs down. So I did 110 crunches with 100 pounds on the machine. Felt great. And then I went on the stationary bike for 10 minutes, pushed my heart rate up to about 120 for damn near the whole 10 minutes, because my heart rate was up from doing the crunches, and I just went from one machine to the next. So I did 10 minutes on the stationary bike, and then I did 10 minutes, and I keep forgetting to look up the name of basically a stationary bike, but where you're using your arms. And I cranked it up to like level 5 or 6, so I had a little difficulty on my arms, and I did that for 10 minutes. And I was unable to monitor my heart rate on that one, but I could feel by my breath that it was probably in the 125-ish range. So the crunches, the stationary bike, the arm workout, and then I jumped on the rowing machine. These machines are all in a row in this one row at my gym, and got on the rowing machine, cranked it up to level 6, and just started going. And locked my feet in and started sliding, just whoosh, whoosh. And I was like, man, I'm going to do 10 minutes of this. Got my heart rate up there pretty good. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep going. So I went 20 minutes. I was really feeling like, let's just burn this sugar out of me so we can get back into that fat burning zone. So I did 10 on the bike, 10 on the arms, and then 20 on the rowing machine. And then I cleaned that machine off quick. And then the next machine over was the elliptical. And then I went and did 10 minutes on that. And I was only unable to monitor my heart rate on the elliptical, or I mean on the rowing machine. But on the elliptical, I had it again. So I started pumping it, and my heart rate was like right in the 120s right when I got on the elliptical. So I know my heart rate was up in the 130s on the rowing machine because it was only like a minute, a break in between. And then I did 10 minutes on the elliptical as well. So 10, 10, 20, 10. So I did like 50 minutes of 4 different cardio machines and just pushed my heart rate up. I had my heart rate all the way up to 145 on the elliptical. So I was feeling like this is a great supplementary 5K training day where I got my heart up really good and, way longer than it would have taken to finish a 5K. Because like I said, it's probably going to take me over a half hour when I do run it for the first time again. We're starting to train up again for it and get my times down, but I really don't care what that initial time is going to be because I'm just getting back into it, and it's winter and the summer's not even here. We're not even into the running 5K weather yet, but it's going to be amazing. So that, and then I ran to the grocery store and picked up a few things. If you saw my video earlier, I just made that little 400 calorie pizza. One of my subscribers had one of the channel people that watch the channel asked, what are the ingredients? Can you show how to make it or whatever? So I was like, you know what, this will be a real easy video to make, and I'll just eat the pizza for lunch when I got back. So, by the time I got back, and like I said, it was like 8 in the morning when I ate them eggs. I only had a few carbs. And I kind of cleaned around the house for an hour or something. Then I went to the gym, then I went to the grocery store. Then I came back, and by the time I put everything away and was hanging out, and before I started making the video for the pizza, it was like 1:15. So I had burnt up all. I wanted to eat right away after I ate them eggs because you kind of just, when you eat nothing but protein and fat, and you're used to burning carbs, you do have these desires to eat. So you got to kind of just stay busy. So 5 hours just flew by, and it was kind of a combo, like, hey, look, I'm eating low carb, I'm staying on Atkins phase 1, I'm going to the gym, and I'm spacing these meals out. Atkins says don't go more than 6 hours without eating, so it's kind of the window. I try to eat between 4 and 5, 6 hours, 4 and 6 hours, with 5 hours kind of being that sweet spot. So I just cooked that pizza and ate it for lunch. But I had pre-made one so that I could show how to make the one, and then the other one would be done. And I timed it out, and it was like exactly perfect. The bell went off literally as soon as I got done. So I counted that as about 10 carbs to eat 2 of those, because the tortillas are the only thing that really have any carbs, and then the cheese has like 1 carb. So anyway, was doing pretty good. That was breakfast and lunch, and it was way past noon anyway. It was closer to 1:30 by the time I ate those low carb meals. I should have only ate one, but because I made the video and wanted it to be a little more streamlined because I only know how to go live. I don't know how to edit videos yet. I'm gonna figure it out one of these days. I'm gonna quit talking about it and actually figure it out one of these days. So then it was getting to be a few hours later, and I whipped up a salad. And I had calculated it to be about 3 carbs, but it might not even have been. It was just lettuce and onions and cucumbers and onions and tomatoes and the skinny girl. Even if it was 4, it was a decent salad, and it had filled me up pretty good. Well, then just like it's 7:30 right now, and like, I don't know, hour and a half ago or whatever. So it was not too long after I'd had that salad. An old friend, an old neighbor, her husband and her lived across the street from me when I lived in a different town. She was meeting a girlfriend for dinner at a sushi place near my apartment. And I was like, oh my God, this will be perfect. I can just go eat sushimi with no rice, no vegetables, no nothing. And it'll be because I still had 3 carbs left anyway, which I still do because all I had was the sushimi. Well, then I had the miso soup and a little salad that comes with it. And I'm guessing the salad dressing had, even though it's only like 2 tablespoons, they probably had more than 3 carbs. So I might have went over a little bit, but I crushed the gym pretty hard today. So compared to yesterday, though, which was a pretty shitty day, um, went way, way, way over the carbs yesterday and just had a bad day and just had to get past it. And that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to show a guy that weighed 315 pounds, started the YouTube channel. I weighed 270 pounds. I'm down under 240 pounds. And you're going to have days that aren't perfect. You're going to skip, you're going to trip, you're going to fall. But I'm telling you guys, I want to demonstrate that you can have a bad day. You can have a child's birthday party and eat cake and ice cream once in a great while and still lose weight. It's just you're definitely not going to lose weight that day, but that's not that negative. I'm only 50 years old. I plan on living another 50, 60 years. I feel like I have a long time to go, and then I can every day for the rest of your life is a healthy goal. I think it's one of the most important things in my life besides love. The love of my family and my friends and my children, and even my ex-wife and my ex-girlfriends and future girlfriends. I mean, I just want to be filled with love. Jesus Christ is love, and I want that to be the number one most important thing in my life. And and a close second is to be healthy, because loving yourself is how you're healthy. So to be pure love is to be healthy. And it's a big part of this program and why I'm staying dedicated and committed to it. So I'm on day 3 of Atkins, and even describing how bad of a day I had eating yesterday, eating like 200 carbs instead of 20, 10 times more than my goal. I'm starting to feel much better in my body. Like when I get dressed to go do something like I just did, to go out and have sushi real quick with an old friend, and I look at myself in the mirror and I just kind of fixed my hair real quick and threw my sweater on. I was like, you're looking a lot better, bro. Start feeling good about yourself, because do I feel good about that future, Zach? When I envision myself, it's making me smile just thinking about it, right? Okay, Zach, that's you now. That is you. You are that person. Just keep doing what you got to do to get to that point. You are the future you. You're the future you right now. So just start doing the right thing. The future you is going to dream about the future you, and you're looking back in time and you're seeing yourself sitting watching this video. That future you is looking back at you, and is going to thank you or not for the decisions you make right here, right now. Drink water, go for a walk, eat low carb, eat low calorie, do whatever you can do. Figure out what works for you. My God, I thought my old house had tons of bats in it. And I live in a brand new apartment building, and I just had a flashback of a bat flying by. Crazy, right? So I'm starting to feel super more, I'm positive about my body. And one of the commenters just gave me a thumbs up, and I'm going to give it to him back. And hey, hit that thumbs up, by the way, also. So my gym game is stepping up. I ramped it up so slowly, you guys, over the past few months, because I'm 50 years old. But when I was 30, I could bench press over 400 pounds, deadlift over 500. And, I was a stocky, but I was always overweight, but I was very powerful. And the point of that little precursor is I'm not 30 anymore. I'm not 40 anymore. I'm over 50. And I really have to take it easy to even be able to get back into the gym. Like if I go into the gym and I can bench press 225 pounds like a bunch of times, and I'm not going to be wanting to go back the next day. I'll tell you that, because I'm going to be so sore. I just, it's like that muscle memory knows I can do it. But then the next morning, my muscles remember I shouldn't have done that. And what I'm saying, though, is I've been able to pump really hard lately, do circuit workouts, and I've been lifting weights at my work gym. And, like today's good 4 different cardio machines at the gym, plus hard crunches. And I'm just feeling good. Like I did back and buys the other day, which I don't normally even do, like really muscle building workouts. But I'm feeling like I'm going to incorporate more and more of these, and not heavy weights, but just a good hard workout where you're just pumping like 2 or 3 different machines, kind of just supersetting them. So it's kind of cardio and weights all together. And that increased muscle density, is going to help you burn up that sugar, and which is going to help you get back into ketosis quicker. and be burning fat, at a higher rate. So I am, so my gym game's picking up. I do play guitar on occasion. I do, like I said, I got my little Lego sets that to just have a hobby, have something that you can do that isn't drinking, doing drugs, smoking cigarettes, eating sugar, do something with your life, So, I mean, working out is a big thing that I love to do like all the time, but I can't be doing it 24/7. Another thing human beings love to do is eat because it keeps you alive and sleep and mate. And, we have all these things. And I'm really looking for some more um, healthy habits. Hobbies, not habits, but yeah, I'm incorporating as many healthy habits into my life, listening to the audible books, positive motivation, going to the gym. I quit the e-cigarette. I quit drinking coffee months ago. Haven't cheated on either one of those guys. Not a puff of an e-cigarette or a cigarette in months, not a sip of coffee in months. It's been all black tea, green tea, herbal tea, water. Had one beer this year so far. It's March 7th. I almost had a drink at the sushi restaurant. I looked at the drink menu and I was joking with the two women I was with that I had already drank one beer this year. Maybe I'll have one more while we're here. And I looked at a few drinks, and they were like sugary drinks and sake and beer, and I was like, nah, it all has carbs, and I just didn't want to. I didn't want to eat any more carbs because I ordered like the sushimi platter, so it's just nothing but raw fish. No rice, no veggies, just 15 pieces of raw fish with wasabi. So delicious. So I want my next note here. I want to talk about my goals. Hadn't really talked about this goal that much. I brought up A1C, which is your rolling 90-day average blood sugar level. It's your hemoglobin A1C. I've had this goal to have it. I got it down to 5.4, like 16 months ago or whatever it was, and that was the lowest I had it in a while. And then I started dating another woman, my last girlfriend that we dated for like a year, and I just didn't take care of myself. I didn't work out as much. I didn't eat as healthy. I just and I know my A1C went way up from 5.4, and I had checked it just like 6 months ago or something, and it was back up to like 6.2. So I'm going to check it again on April 1st, and we're hoping it'll be below 6.2, hopefully below 6. But really, my goal is to get my A1C under 5.0, or let's say it is 5.0. If the day like it's a super big goal besides even my weight loss. It's the A1C number to me is almost more important than the weight loss, but the two numbers are so closely tied together. I mean, the less you weigh, I mean, if you're pre-diabetic and you're overweight, it's directly related to your overweight. If you're very skinny and you get type 2 diabetes, well, then your pancreas is the problem. But if you're 315 pounds like I was and you get diabetes, it's because you're 315 pounds. So because as soon as I got down to 245 that same year, the diabetes was gone. So all I did was lose weight. I didn't take medication. I didn't take shots. I didn't even go to the gym. I just changed my diet and quit drinking alcohol, quit eating bread, pasta, carbs, ate nothing but meat, vegetables, nuts, berries, very little fruit for like 6 months. I lost like 75 pounds and the A1C was down to almost normal. It's like it just into the pre-diabetic range. So that's just a big goal. Besides that, I had set the goal of 218 and then 190 by May 30, so I just have these goals to keep me pushing hard in that direction for the coming year, 2 years, whatever, however long it takes. And so that's just one of those goals that in the back of my mind, that future Zach that has an A1C of 5.0. He's looking back through time and he sees me on this table right now and he's thanking me. He's like, thanks, Zach, from yesterday for making the right choice, for making the right decisions, because now healthy future Zach is happy and is healthier and wealthier and happier. And that was the whole point of this channel. So my plans are to continue with the Atkins phase 1. And then phase 2, and then phase 3, and then phase 4. But phase 1 for the foreseeable future, I don't have a date to end phase 1 yet because, Atkins phase 1 is intended to be the phase where you lose the majority of the weight you need to lose. If you're 300 pounds you wouldn't lose 50 pounds and then go to Atkins phase 2 because you're still 250 pounds. You're still way overweight. Let's say at 5'9". So if you're 300 pounds and you start Atkins phase 1, you stay on it until you're like 200 pounds or 190 pounds. And then you start phase 2, because phase 2, you still lose weight, but you can start to incorporate a higher gram count per day of carbohydrates. Like I said, I use the 20 chips right now. So on phase 2, it would be 25 and then 30 and then 35. And that's all phase 2, the 40, 45, 50. That's phase 2. And then you go on to and you continue to lose weight though in that phase, just at a slower rate because you're eating more carbs and your body has to burn up them carbs, which it will. It will burn carbs first. So since you're eating more carbs, it will burn a little more carbs before it starts burning the fat. Like that's an everyday thing. And then technically everybody fasts every day. It's called sleeping. And then you wake up and you have break fast, so it's a normal part of our existence to fast every day. And I don't know why I plugged that in there because the fasting is just so great. Yeah, Angel, one of the commenters must have saw my pizza video today. One of the subscribers was asking, hey, can you show the ingredients? And I was just like, you know what? I'll just make a video of it making it. You've seen how long it takes, and it had only taken me 3 minutes to prep the video. And it was the bomb. I ate it right after the video. I should have ate it on the video. Should have made another video. Yeah, make them. Those, those, what are those tortillas? Carb balanced tortillas. Those freaking things went up to $5.99. They used to be $3.99 for a pack of like 10 of them. But I mean, technically it's 10 meals then because it's a 400 calorie meal. And even if you ate 2 of them, like I actually ate both of them because I added up the calories. I was like, this ain't even 400. This is barely 300. So I was able to eat both of them for lunch, and I counted it at about 10 carbs. But they actually taste really good. The trick is to toast that tortilla up, though. Don't put any oil or nothing, but just put it in a hot pan and flip it until it's kind of stiff. And then you can put the sauce and the veggies and the cheese. If you left the meat off, those things are probably closer to 200 calories than 400. So let me keep strolling down my notes here. I mentioned, so I'm continuing the Atkins phase 1. When I found the 400 calorie meals were being so effective at reducing my my desire to eat the big meals, I thought I was going to want to stick to them for a longer time until I realized, they're just 400 calories. I'm not controlling my carbohydrate intake. And that's why I could have almost stuck with it, but just made it Atkins 400 calorie meals. And maybe that's something I'll do in the future. But for now, I just wanted to slip away from those so that because there was times where I was even eating like a little can of Pringles is at work is like 360 calories. And I was like, well, I could technically eat that for my 400 calorie meal then. And, when one of my goals is to have an A1C of 5.0 or less, that's not going to be heading in that direction at all. So digging out the Atkins New Diet Revolution book written in 1992 by Dr. Atkins, who lived to be a ripe old age. I want to say he lived over 90, and he was a doctor, and he designed the diet originally to cure diabetes because they knew how to cure diabetes 100 years ago. But diabetes wasn't that popular in 92. It's like everybody knows about it now. There's like, I don't even know how many tens of millions of Americans in the country. I think it's coming up to where it's like more people are going to have diabetes or pre-diabetes in America than don't. So anyway, he switched the book from a prevent diabetes to a weight loss book. But if you read the book, it's obvious it was intended to reduce blood sugar, and which will eliminate diabetes. But that also will cause you to lose tons of weight, and everybody wants to lose tons of weight. So even though I had the really bad eating day yesterday and I had the cookie and I ate junk food and I just blew it up and I had a terrible eating day, I still feel like I am in control. I don't feel like I lost control of myself just because I had one bad day. And I feel like even when I was doing it, I was consciously aware of what I was doing. I was like, you know what, you're just going to do it and you're going to try to enjoy it. And I did enjoy it. I guess I'll be honest, I ate the cookie and it made me a little sick because I don't eat that much sugar. And it was so much sugar, it was like 10 days of carbs in one for, for what I've been doing. Even more than that, if you count every 4 days of, I'm fasting half the time, it's zero carbs, zero food. And I was actually sick for like a half hour after I ate the thing. And I was like, okay, this is what you get for eating cookies. That's why I said, when you want to do something, do it, but learn from it. Um, so I wanted to do it. So I did it. And you know what? I learned. I had a stomach ache, and then I busted my ass in the gym today to burn it out. And I lost my ketosis, my ketone strips. I have no clue where they went. I'm irritated because I want to start testing. Because if you eat 20 carbs a day for long enough, you should, and it might take a week, but you should start testing positive for ketones in your urine, which means your body is absolutely out of carbs, out of sugar, and is creating ketones for your brain to use as fuel. Because your body can create ketones when it has no sugar, and that's how it keeps functioning. So emotionally, I am feeling that I'm just in a really healing process in my life. It's not just the diet and the weight loss. It's not just the increased spirituality and reading the Bible more, and using Bible verses and quotes at the beginning of most of my streams, and listening to the Bible and reading and listening to positive, most of motivational books, and really learning to love myself and love the people around me. I'm feeling that when you love yourself, you understand other people a lot better. Even people that have wronged you, and people that, like, say, people that don't like you. Maybe, I work in a building with like 250 people, so I'm not taking it personal that 8 of them hate my guts. If out of 250 people, you're gonna have people that don't like you. Um, but when you love yourself, you're able to see their pain and their suffering, and why they're full of hate, and why they always talk behind people's back, and why they're just generally unhappy, and maybe some spirituality and some love in their life could do them a lot of good too. So I'm just it helps me to not judge people, and being judged by other people can be painful, but when you love yourself, it's a lot less painful, because you don't care what other people think as much then. When Jesus loves you, God's in control, you've read the Bible front to back, and you know who wins, the end of the book. You don't get so butthurt over somebody being grumpy at work, and you're able to, if you don't want to smile and laugh in their face, but you're able to walk away and maintain your own composure and your own emotional strength, and keep healing. Like, I've been through heartbreak, and I've been through a rough childhood, and a odd parenting situation, growing up. My parents didn't get along well, and I got to watch them fight my whole life and cry all the time when I was a little kid, and it kind of made me try to become the savior and help them out, and try to help my dad, because he was always crying. My mom was they were fighting all the time, and it had a great impact on me, and I just didn't realize it until I was, till 50 years later. So emotionally, though, I'm feeling very strong, and I'm feeling the emotion of love is just driving through my spirit. And last note here, I want to just start incorporating, to just let you guys know, like, what am I reading uh, on a day-to-day basis. I don't always go read a book front to back. I usually do, but not always. Um, but anyway, right now I'm reading The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I brought it up a couple times, but I'm not finished with it yet. So I just want to start incorporating, some of my goals, like the A1C goal, and the 215 pound goal is really the exciting one, because that'll be the weight where I am 100 pounds down from my highest body weight back on January 1st of 2016. So just having said that, you can see this has been a journey for me. This is not a crash course in weight loss, and it just came off overnight. It's been crash diets, but it's been roller coasters, up and down for several years now. So I'm learning to just keep on riding the wave, and keep on trying, keep on getting up. And if you got to change it, change it. If you got to grind it out, but never give up. Always love yourself. And I'm feeling better and better. I just looking at myself in the mirror today, I was like, I'm feeling my clothes are slipping on. Did I have that tap out shirt on the other day? I think I forgot to mention, like, that's a medium shirt that hasn't even come close to fitting me in years. And I was digging through, putting my laundry away, and I don't know where it was because I haven't wore it in forever. It was at the bottom of a drawer somewhere, and I had just washed a load of laundry that was in the drawers just because they were kind of, hadn't been used in a while. And it was in there, and I was like, oh, let me throw this on, because the last time I threw it on, it was like coming up here on me because my stomach was so huge. It just wasn't even coming halfway around didn't even color my belly. And I threw it on, and it wasn't like big on me, but it wasn't like tight or anything. And I was like, wow. So my body is transforming. I'm 239 pounds. Although I weighed myself today after yesterday with all them carbs, and I don't even want to tell you what I weigh. But all them carbs hold, every molecule of carbohydrate holds, I got to Google it. It's either 2 or 3 molecules of water. I almost want to say it's 3. So when you eat a bunch of sugar, you will weigh more the next day. And it's not body fat, but it's retaining more water. But that'll just all fall off when I start fasting. So I'm going to work tomorrow, which is an extra day of work. And then my normal routine will be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that'll be the fasting days. And we'll see if I make it through the 96 hours of fasting this time, because I've not made it. The last 2 times I had at least one meal. The last 3 times I've had at least one meal. So I've been kind of just enjoying the Atkins meal so much that I've impressed myself. Like, I'm 48 hours into a fast, and I'm like, man, I just want to eat a salad when I get home. And, it's not cake and cookies. So at least there's that. I think I'm retraining my subconscious as well to desire um, only healthy food, and yes, I had a bad day yesterday, but I'm not going to define my life by that. So I think maybe some of the Audible books I've been listening to too, like the hypnosis for rapid weight loss, or whatever it's called on Audible. It's very similar to that's the title. And I haven't been listening to it every single night, but I've been listening to it most nights right when I fall asleep. And I know it has a lot of positive affirmations in there because I've listened to it while I'm awake just to see what it's saying, because I fall asleep so fast. I don't actually hear it consciously. It's just getting into my subconscious. And it's just a lot of like, you're worthy, you desire healthy food, you can safely and effectively lose weight without any negative effects to your health. It's okay. You have the desire to eat only healthy and living foods and refreshing, fruits and vegetables. It's saying all this, and it's just getting into your head. And I really feel it, especially when I'm 2 or 3 days into a fast and all I want is healthy food. It's kind of funny to me because I was such a junk food eater to get to be 215 pounds. It's the same thing with drinking alcohol. When I was out to sushi today and I was looking at the drink menu, and I was like, well, I already had 1 beer this year. And it's just blowing my mind to think I used to drink 30, 40 drinks a day. And now I've had 1 in over 3 months. And I didn't even want another one. I was like, I considered it. And then I was like, nah, let's just not. And we'll be fine. So, all right, guys, that's the end of my notes. That's the end of my video. Jump on board with Jesus. He is the winning team, guys. If you follow him, you're going to follow him into the eternity. If you don't, there's a 1,000-year millennium of teaching where Christ rules and reigns for 1,000 years, that maybe you can be converted during that time. But if not, Satan's the only person in the Bible named by name that is being thrown into the lake of fire at the end of the 1,000-year millennium. Talking about in the book of Revelation, and also Ezekiel chapter 38 and beyond. You can learn about those things by reading the Bible, or you can wait till it's too late and find out in our afterlife. But if you just jump on board with Jesus now, you don't have to worry about that, because he loves you, I love you, and I'll catch up with you guys again tomorrow evening.